All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. We're here with the Cessna 404 Titan. This is a beautiful aircraft we're going to check out today. A lot of information on this one. Now, it says there's a cruise speed of 163 knots. I did some research. If it says that this thing has a max cruise speed of 267 knots, and at 16,000 feet, you can cruise about 267 at max speed. Cruising speed normally is 217 on a regular day. Range 2,120. Stall speed 81. Flaps fully down, I think, is 130 before you start stalling. So yeah, we're here with the Titan. This aircraft is roughly $460,000 to $500,000, depending on the configuration of it and what you have, obviously, for options. Now, you have cargo, passenger, cargo, empty, and, of course, an air ambulance. Today, we will just do a standard passenger one with this livery. Right. Oh, not that livery. Where'd it go? Oh, maybe there's different liveries for this one here. Oh, yeah. So they do have a bunch of different liveries, as you can see. Nothing too crazy. Let me see here. I just saw one that I really liked. That must have been in a different configuration here. That must have been... Was it cargo that we were looking at before? Let me see. That might have been the cargo one I was looking at before. And then you go to livery here. And I did like this livery for it. So we could take a look at the cargo version of this as well. But yeah, for this video, I'm going to use the cargo version. They're basically a standard version. If you guys ever used the 414 in Microsoft Flight Simulator, there's a 414 AW made by Flight Simware. It is a beautiful aircraft. This is basically a simple model of this. This aircraft is made by Coronado and Microsoft. So we're just going to go on the ground here in Philly, and we'll take it up for a little bit of a test flight, see how it flies, see how it handles. Like I said, it has a wingspan of about 46 feet. The height of it is 13 feet and 31 inches high. It has anywhere from 6 to 8 passenger seating, and it has a max cruise altitude of 26,000 feet. So that's some of the stats. The length of it is 39 feet length or long. So there's a little bit of some of the stats on there. Some of them can actually fit up to 8 to 10 passengers with the 2 crew as well. However, we're going to be in the cargo one today, checking it out. So as you can see, we're not going to have to deal with those noisy and annoying passengers as we check out this one today. Now this one it's quite interesting. Like I purchased one aircraft on Microsoft Flight Simulator. The very first one I purchased, it was a Piaggio, which they put in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. They have not updated it too many times so far. So I'm hoping that they eventually update it where you can click on the pitot tubes and everything like that. You have to do everything from the inside of the aircraft. On this one, you can do it from the outside. The defaults seem to be better than the payware aircraft. So if you're buying something on 2024 and you are 2020 and you're put it in 2024 and you come to walk around outside like this, you might not have any click spots where you can open the doors or take off the pitot heats. You might have to do that from the internal side of the tablet inside the aircraft. It's probably not going to have too many of these options as we have. So we can take a look around in the back of this as well. It just has cargo in it, nothing too fancy. We could also take a look at the passenger variant, but they're pretty much, we want to focus more on the cockpit here. And just do a little bit of walk around. And I think now Coronado, Microsoft Flight Simulator, or Microsoft probably helped Coronado a lot with this, because to be honest, this aircraft, they're better at making general aviation aircrafts, Coronado, than they are airliners or bigger aircraft. So hopefully this isn't as bad as the one we checked out with the Saab yesterday. Hopefully this is a little bit better modeling. From the videos I've been watching on it, it looks like it's a slightly better aircraft. So let's open the window so we could get some of those sounds. This does have de-icers. I don't know. Yeah. It has the boots. I don't know if it's inflatable boots. It does have the liquid for the de-icing. I think that's the what is that? The anti-ice, anti-ice. And it has the I think the alcohol spray there in one of these de-icers where they spray on the windshield. I believe one of these windshields, the captain side here is heated, and I believe this is just a plastic. So, yeah, probably best to fly it from this side of the aircraft. Very basic. It's not as complex as the 414. You got your panel switch light here. You have your individual lighting right there for interior. Then you have your, I guess, your magnetos, your startups, your left and right. You just toggle that to the left and right. You do it for a couple seconds to prime the engine and then hit start. We're going to do that in a second. Here are your battery switches. So, it looks like, hold on a second. This thing's already started up on us. Let me turn that off. Sorry about that. All right, so we're going to try to get this thing started. We got the batteries on here, and I will try to start up the engine in a minute here. So we'll put on the magnetos. There we go. And we'll prime the engine here. And we'll get a little bit of, let me make sure the fuel mixture is on. You go down here. You could do a left main or right main, totally up to you. I believe you're going to have to, I don't know if that manually does it, or you're going to have to keep an eye on your fuel tanks to make sure they're in balance. Your fuel gauges are going to be up here. I believe they're on the top side of this. I could be wrong. Oh, here they are. They're right here. So you want to keep an eye on your fuel to make sure you have it evened out in your tanks. It looks like we have about 6 gallons in each one right now, which is fine. All right, push that over to the left for a couple seconds, and then... Oh, let me make sure we put those up. Put those up. Put those in idle. Let's try this again. There we go. We got the one engine running there. Nope. It didn't stay started there. Hold on. Let me see. Am I doing something wrong here? Probably. Got the fuel on here. Let's put right main and see if that helps us a little bit. Let's prime this engine. There we go. There we go. We got one started there. It does have the lights that come in on the bottom there, like the airliners. So if you look here at our landing light, you got your nav light, taxi light. This retracts and comes out as well. Your anti-ice and your... See, if you look underneath the wings, you see your lighting here coming on. Alright, it doesn't look like it's lit up, which is kind of strange. Lighting, taxi lighting, and this, let me see. It should be lit up, but it doesn't really look like it's lit. So, surface light, those are all your ice lighting. That's for, you do have a little light on top of the wing here as well. Right there to see the leading edges for your ice, anti-ice. Alright, let's start up the other engine here. I'll put that over that way and start it up, baby. Come on. I don't know why I always have a problem with the left engine in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Is that something to do with me, or... No. I don't know. That other engine's working fine, but this one doesn't seem to want to work. Let's try this one more time, boys. Man, that does not want to work, huh? Alright. Control Shift C? No. Let me see if I can get it to work the old-fashioned way here. There we go. Alright, we'll just do it the old school way. I had an issue with it starting. Let's put on the avionics. Supposedly there's two different ways. You got your radar for your weather. You have your nav. You have your flight directors heading out. Autopilot is right here. As you can see, you have your flight director nav. You could do your VOR or LOC and your altitude hold as well. So just want to make sure it's trimmed out. Very old school and basic aircraft. Let's take it up for a little bit of a flight. The 414, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try it out. Let's see. Let's take the brake to turn the brake off. There's your landing gear. It does have retractable landing gear as well. We could take a look at it in the dark as well. That's your little brake lever there. We hold on the brakes. It does have a lot of power, so you don't have to over torque it. We could put one notch of flaps in. Your flaps are right over here. And let's see what it looks like in the dark real quick. And let me just... Hold on. Let me light up the panel real quick before I put it in the dark. So it does have... It has individual lighting here. It doesn't look like it's that great, the lighting in here. Let's go back to daytime here. Let me see. So this is your lights. Let's turn them all up here, and then we'll go back to dark and see how they look. Oh, this is your night light. Okay, that's what I had wrong, probably. Alright, so let's go back to the seat. We'll go back to real time, and it should light up nicely. So, okay, it's not the best lighting. Maybe I was wrong about the lighting. But there you have it. That's, I guess you can't really fly too great at night with this thing. I thought it would be better lighting than that. The 414 has way better lighting. So this is very basic aircraft. It's still, I would say it's still not really up to par. Again, another slightly disappointing aircraft from Coronado. But what can you expect, as it seems to be the theme for these videos that I've been making. Now we're doing twin engines. We did private jets. There are other private jets in the simulator. However, they are payware. Look at this. We have a glitch. I saw when I came in and out, we had a little bit of a glitch on the plane itself there. Let me see. Yeah, it's a little bit glitchy, too. That is strange, man. You would think they have this right by now, right? Whoa, a little bit of a bounce there. This is 2024 that I'm flying on. Still, as you can see, needs work. So we're gonna test fly it real quick here out of this field in Philadelphia. I was supposed to go to that airport. We're gonna take off right here. Let me just double check what runway we're at here. In order for these to go to normal, you have to click the enter button twice. and then it will go to this screen, and a couple seconds here, it will find our GPS on the ground and put it to where we are in the aircraft. So that should help us at least to know where we're at. All right, let's try this out. I don't want to over torque the engines. I'm just going to put us on the runway here. We shouldn't need too much runway. This is a pretty relatively great aircraft as far as power goes. We'll set it to about 30 for the manifold pressure. You don't want to over torque or over speed it. That should do it for takeoff. We just wait till we're up to speed here. Maybe a little bit higher there. There we go. There's the airliner taking off right above us, about 80 knots. Continuing here. I'm keeping a little bit of left rudder in there as we make our way to 90 knots. Above 90, and we're going to start to rotate here. Let's get that. Very, very glitchy. Let's gear up. Flaps up. Alright. It's very, very glitchy, guys. Very glitchy indeed. I put the daytime on here a little bit better. And we'll retract the landing lights here. These are your settings. I prefer this one. This one's pretty nice. It doesn't have the best settings, but that's our co-pilot there. It's not a bad looking aircraft, but definitely the 414 works better than this. So it's a little bit slightly disappointing that it's not the greatest aircraft. Let's do an altitude hold and see if the autopilot is going to be working for us here. Do heading mode. Alright, so that seems to be working relatively good here. Let's do a VS climb mode, about 500 feet per minute here. And we'll put the engines back, the torque, to about 20. Manifold pressure is going to come back up. We'll thin out the mixture here. In the green there. So if you want to know what I'm doing, I'll just put this on here. I'm just fixing my mixtures here. So I put down my mixture, I put down my props, and I have the power pulled, pushed back to 30 pounds on the manifold pressure. RPMs are about 20 or so, and our fuel is in the green section here. We're doing about 180 knots at about 1,100 feet, headed towards the city. Let me take us back off, and we'll get back in the air here. We're going to turn back around towards Philadelphia. Let's see what this baby can do. So we're going to put RPMs up, fuel all the way up, power setting up. I'm going to just put the nose in the air here and do a power on stall, see how it handles real quick here. It's a pretty nice flying aircraft. I recommend you can do a regular flight with this. It's a very general and basic aircraft. If you're into this type of airplane and you want to do a flight, this would probably be a good one to start with, so basic and simple. It does have pretty good, at least the RPMs are working and the fuel mixture is working relatively well, which is surprising in Coronado's case. They're doing really good with that. The flight model on the outside and inside are pretty nice. As far as the visual, the flight characteristics seem pretty nice, but they're a little bit isolating, like the plane jumping up and down a little bit too much. Then it should be a little bit more smoother, I believe, on the yoke. So that is a little bit concerning there. And the sound quality, it's a Coronado basic sound quality, nothing to write home about. There's Philadelphia to our left wing there that we're going to be landing back at. I don't know what's going on with this. There it goes, right there. We're going to come back around for a landing there. You hear the sounds of Coronado? It always sounds like loose baggage. I don't know. It's very basic sound modeling here. So we'll do a power on stall here. I just want to see what would happen if we pop our way up here. Look at this. That's a heck of a stall right there. There we go. And the left wing's dropping. All right. Try not to put us in a spin. Just recover here. And pull back and then add power. All right. So that ain't bad. All right. We got it back under control here. Let's see what would happen if we lost an engine. Let's lose the right engine here, and we'll feather the prop. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to put a little bit more power in. See, it's very basic flight modeling. There's not a lot of effect with the aircraft. There would be a lot more things happening. I'm not even really on the rudders, and we're flying straight. So, definitely nothing realistic about that. You know, that would be a whole kind of crazy, and it's flying relatively well still. Well, one engine. I don't know if that's accurate to this, but let me know if you guys know. Let's go ahead and start that back up. All right, we got the engine back up there. That's just the sound of me putting it to idle. It has a stall sound, so we're gonna come back around to Philadelphia here. We'll start our descend. I'm gonna start our descend here. Back down, and we'll land it. All right. It's going to turn and follow the river back. I mean, it's not a bad plane. I would say it's nothing to write home about. This still needs a lot of work. And this is the cargo variant of that. It does have a passenger variant too. Something pretty good, but definitely I would say the 414 in 2020 is a way better option. So if you're really into the Cessna 404 Titan, you're going to love the Flight Simware 414 AW. It is absolutely a beautiful aircraft. So just keep that in mind. You should not be flying the way I'm flying at all with this plane. And that one's a lot better flight characteristics too. The 414, that is. The Titan's okay. It's good for a basic. If you're new to flight simming and you don't really know too much about aircrafts and you like this one, this is a perfect plane to start with if you're not really familiar with aviation and you just want to start flying something. I'm going to put the gear down. The flaps are coming down. We're overspeeding the flaps and everything right now. But that's okay because we're about to land over here. So, not a bad plane to start with, that's for sure. You want to land it about, I would say, a little bit under 100 knots or so. It has good braking, I believe, so you can go ahead and keep the power up. You don't really want to land these planes too slow. You know, once you're over the threshold, and they do tend to float a lot, so just keep that in mind too. There is a good ground effect with these aircrafts floating, so. There goes a airplane taking off right above us there. I don't know if this one's gonna float, but then once you settle over the runway there you go. Pretty cool aircraft indeed. Definitely you can brake heavy on that. It's got good springs on there. And that's it. That's the 414 Titan from Microsoft Flight Simulator there. It has the flaps on the inside and outside. It is a bigger, more robust aircraft, and definitely a cool one to fly and have in your hangar for sure. You know, but it needs work. All of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, it needs love, it needs care, it needs updates, and I'm sure we'll get some good ones in the future, depending on who takes on the projects of these aircrafts and who, you know, puts them in their hangar or whatever they do. Let's just stop here on the runway, get and put the brake on, and we'll wrap this video up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me go ahead and shut down the engines. I'll just show you a little bit of the engine shutdown there. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice animation. It does have feathering on the props, which is nice. It's not a bad one to start with, especially if you're new to aviation and you're looking to fly a general aviation aircraft like this. This is a pretty cool one to have in your hangar for sure. I don't know why the propellers are still going there. There we go. They finally stopped. That's pretty cool. I feel like the animation of the propellers are a little bit more realistic than they used to be. Although, I don't know if they bounce back and forth at the end like that. That was a little bit interesting. Let me know if they do in the comments below. But that is the 414 Titan. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, smashing the thumbs up, and enjoying these videos. I really appreciate it. I love aviation. I like making these videos. If you're into it, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.